with champagne. Pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Let's continue tonight, come on, celebrate. That's how we do. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my duck off the crib, the spot, the pad. But my house is your house if you throwing it back. Excuse me if my home draining is sad. Soon as these happy faces land, you can run with the cash. Home run, slam dunk, touchdown pass. Mi casa es tu casa, so it ain't no holding back. Another shot of vodka, you know what's in my glass. It's my house, just relax. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house.
I need your love, I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. I feel so high, I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight. I need your love. I need your love. I take a deep breath every time I pass your door. I know you're there, but I can't see you anymore. And that's the reason you're in the dark. I've been a stranger ever since we fell apart. And I feel so helpless here. Watch my eyes are filled with fear. Tell me, do you feel the same? Hold me in your arms again. I need your love, I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. I feel so high, I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight. I need your love. I need your love. Am I dreaming? Will I ever find you now? I walk in circles, but I'll never figure out what I mean to you. Do I belong? I try to fight this, but I know I'm not that strong. And I feel so helpless here. Watch my eyes and feel with fear.
How's it? So, full arm day done. It was great. Literally no need for like motivation when it comes to a full arm day. What more can you want? It's literally the best thing ever. Absolutely great. Got a great pump. Was feeling really good until posing came about, and from there onwards, steady decline. So the whole of today, I've been incontent with my posing and the way my physique's been looking. And that brings me to what I want to talk about today, or this evening. What is and isn't in your control, essentially. So, I've been reading a lot of philosophy, Epictetus specifically, and one of the things that I've been using today, and I think is a valuable resource in your mind, is the values you place upon things. So, why do we place good and bad values on specific things, and why we shouldn't do that, essentially? So the main thought process behind it is, if you don't give something a good or bad value, it just is. And I think that's quite a good way of looking at life to an extent, because so for example, with today's situation, I was feeling discontent with my physique, and I'd put in the hard work. I had pushed myself, I'd done everything right, I'd eaten, and I just wasn't looking how I had hoped to be looking. And I started thinking, well, that's a value I'm placing on myself. So I'm essentially saying my posing wasn't looking good today. And the way I should have been looking at it is, my posing is looking like this today, and that's just what it is. And it's our value of good or bad that essentially dictates our emotion towards something. So if I had just looked at myself and been like, okay, that's how I look today, and I just moved on without giving it a set value of being bad, it wouldn't have affected my mood and my emotions throughout the course of the next couple hours of the day. And I think that's a valuable thing, because it's essentially learning emotional maturity to an extent. Because if you place good or bad on everything in your life, you're never going to be emotionally content. The more power we have over our emotion, the more fulfilled we'll feel in our life, and in turn, the stronger we'll be mentally. And that's, at the end of the day, what I'm striving for, is mental strength. And I'm not going to be able to accomplish that without being able to dictate my values I place on things. Another example of it was, earlier on, I just went down to do my laundry, and all the washing machines were being used. And I stood there for a second, well, it was more like a minute, and I just kind of looked at the washing machines, and I was thinking to myself, wow, this is very frustrating. Why? Like, why is my day just getting worse and worse progressively? And as I stood there, and I've been trying to implement this, and clearly it's working, I chose not to speak and rather to think for a second. And in that doing so of thinking, I was able to realize I've placed a value upon me doing my laundry at this moment. And if that value is not achieved, essentially, so if I wasn't able to do my laundry, my emotional state just would decrease even further. But really, why why do we place values on such meaningless things at the end of the day? I can go do my laundry later on, and that's what I'm gonna do. And it's not gonna affect me, really. I like, all it means is I'm gonna do things now that I would have done later, and vice versa. Now, to an extent, I agree with this ideology. Ideology. I don't know the word. Ideologically. I don't know. What's the word? Okay, I kind of agree with this. Okay, but I also think it's not necessarily 100% good for you. Because essentially what it means is just stop giving a shit. At least that's the way I'm interpreting it. And I may be interpreting it completely incorrectly, but if you stop giving a shit about everything, and then so you're not placing value on it, you're never gonna find fulfillment either. And this is the kind of the loop I found myself in reading these discourses. It kind of all just loops and kind of just messes with you a tiny bit mentally. But I think that the fact that it's messing with you mentally is rather because you're becoming aware of the way you're thinking and how it's affecting you. And that's not a thing I feel like many people think about, is the way they think. And it should be, because your mind is clay and you're the blooming clay master. You should mold that shit. Make your mind what you want it to be. Stop like letting these external factors dictate the shape of your mind. Like, a quote from this book again, very roughly, was essentially, gold does not say that it's beautiful. We place the value on gold that it's beautiful, right? So why do we place that value? And that just goes for everything. Everything we place value on is because of us, right? The meaning behind it is because of us. There's no actual meaning to anything besides the meaning we place upon it. And that's kind of a crazy concept to get behind, but I think that's amazing, because it really just means we're the makers of our own life. We are able to choose how we see things, what we do when we see things, our emotional state, our emotional reactions to things. And that's crazy. That's so ridiculous. Like, what more could you want? It literally means everything you've ever wanted you can have if you believe in yourself, essentially, if you believe in it. And I think that's great. And we can apply that to gym once again. You want to get big? Do it, right? There's nothing stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is the molding of your mind. And you're the one and the only one who can mold it. Our values upon things are placed by ourselves. So why are we placing these negative and disencouraging values on things? We should be placing good values on things. And I think with that sort of frame of mind, everyone is gonna do significantly better and live their life to a more fulfilling level. So hopefully that's been a bit of food for thought. I know these end of gym chats have become a bit more serious, but it's kind of just the thought process I've been having towards this change in my life. And I think anyone who's interested in changing their life for the better will appreciate this sort of thing. and potentially take one or two little things from it and implement it into their own lives and idealistically improve themselves. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We'll check you.